Indeed, greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you so much for joining me here again today on another video. I really appreciate you being here with me. Kiki just did some parkour to get her ball. Like, I wish I could have shared it with you, but it has been done. And here she comes with it. Are you proud of yourself? Are you proud of yourself? You give me the balls. I can do it. Yeah. Oh well. I mean, I thought in hiding the ball, or I wasn't hiding it because she knew where it was. I thought in putting the ball out of reach, I would buy myself some peace. No peace for you, Mel, says Kiki. No peace for you. Only terror. Only destruction. Only chaos. Good morning, Toasty. Thank you for joining me, my beautiful friend. Oh, it's so nice to have you here, man. How have you been? How have you been, Toasty? How was yesterday, dude? I was thinking about you and sending you good vibes, man. I appreciate you sharing this space with me. Oh, man. I left my book of things worth saying not close by. Hey, everyone. I just wanted to pop in and send my love before I head out for golf. Enjoy your day, everyone. Enjoy yours, Diamond Fingers. I hope you get all of the holes in the ones and all of those birdies, you know, eat from your hands. And what other golf terms do I know to make jokes out of? I don't know golf, my friend, but I hope you have an absolutely amazing time golfing. Like, I know it can be fun. That much I do know. I'm good, man. Things are good at home again. Yes, Toasty. I've been wondering about that specifically, actually. I was like, yeah, you know. Especially since you told me that you were going through some rough stuff, or feeling like you were losing something which you hold dear. Makes me so happy to hear that things are going better, dude. Smoking weed today, champ. Yes, we are, young grass. Are you gonna join me, dude? It is Sunday after all. I don't feel too bad in encouraging you American friends to start smoking early. Yes, brother, I dreamt of my first hole-in-one last night. Hopefully it comes to fruition. I mean, it's the first thing that I said as well. And if you dreamt about it, who knows? I mean, you can't have your hole-in-one if you don't actually go and play golf. Maybe there is some sort of, you know, hippie wisdom caught in that analogy as well. Can't have hole-in-ones if you don't play golf. It kind of feels. I like it, actually. Thank you, Diamond Fingers. I appreciate you sharing it with me, man. I really hope you have an amazing one. Do tell us what it's like. Well, wouldn't it be first time the dream came true for me? Wouldn't be the first time a dream came true for me. There you go. You have even more encouragement. Dreams coming true. You know, dreams, at least in the scientific understanding of things, is your subconscious preparing for something that you could experience in your conscious world. And then, because you've experienced it in your subconscious through your dream state, you're more equipped to actually deal with the circumstance, whatever it may be, because you've already been through something like that. Kiki is just like finagling against me again to try and get her to throw the ball. I wish I had like a bunch of siblings and stuff, you know. Anyone else to just like keep her busy for a second while I'm like trying to stream, because she's like pressing it against me. Like, yeah, let's see if she's going to get close enough for me to see it. Oh, hey Mel. Hey Karam, how are you doing? Kiki, give me space, dude. Give me some space. Every single day with this freaking ball. I'm gonna put it away. I'm gonna put it right here, actually. The wind is probably gonna take it if it doesn't take me first. Now she's looking at it. She's gonna jump on this thing and like move the camera. No, Kiki, where can I throw this thing where it might get lodged? I need some space. I want to roll myself a joint. I believe in you, and I in you, Toasty. But I'm sure you're talking to Diamond Fingers. What do you think about the Beatles? I don't think much about the Beatles. I don't know if that's the answer you want, friend, but I didn't think much about them. I don't think I know any Beatles track, off of heart, or, know a single Beatles track name. Sorry, I'm just... Kiki's like, can you throw the ball? Yes, can you do the thing where you throw the ball again? Like, the thing is, she doesn't even care if I do it unenthusiastically. If I throw it limp, oh, like a 1 meter throw, she's still just as hyped, away, I'm gonna go get it. Go get it. Sometimes she gets into a trip of her own where she goes and chews it, but that ball, she keeps dragging it through the dirt and getting her mouth all over it, so that saliva and the dust makes for very interesting dog mud, and it's getting on my hands. Kiki, it was nice getting dog mud from you, and I appreciate your contribution, but I need some space, just a wee bit, just this much space. We spend time literally all day, I'm home all the time. It's not like you're starved. Oh, Infamous One is here as well. Candace. Let me actually catch up again. Man, how long ago was it? Akaram. Hey again, my friend. Thank you, Melt. Thank you, Toasty. I'm out. Much love to you, friend. That's the cutest, tiniest little grinder I've ever done seen. It's the only grinder I have, Toasty. It does the job. It has a little emblem on it as well. Just so that I can't get away with it if someone was to find it. Oh no, it's a tea holder. But there are marijuana leaves on it. Yes. Marijuana, you can steep it as tea as well. Kiki! Give me some space, please, Kiki. Have you ever been to Europe? Hi from Ukraine. I have not been to Europe, my friend, just yet. It's on the list, of places that I would like to go eventually. But I've not been just yet. Cable, thank you for joining me, friend. Papa, kan ik wel met Kiki spelen, alsjeblieft? Ja, leg hem met jou. Van die balsam. I asked my dad to play with her a little bit. She just yeets straight to him, doesn't take the ball with her. Let's see how long she stays busy that side. Dreams are stunted by THC. They can be. I don't think dreams necessarily are stunted by THC. I just think short-term memory is stunted by THC. And dreams are already, in a state of non-remembrance, where you'll wake up and you'll have the dream, or you'll have the knowledge of the dream, and then as you try and recall it, it kind of starts to fade. Because it's not necessarily something that's supposed to be remembered constantly. If we remembered all of our dreams all of the time, we would literally have more dream data than we would have actual life experience. If we consider this life, not the dream state life. So it would be unfeasible. So I do agree, but I think it more stunts the ability to form memories around your dreams as much as it stunts your dreaming. I do believe you still have dreams just as vivid and just as significant in your subconscious mind. I just don't think you recall them as well. Life is a dream. Do Infamous One. I just want to say I love you as well again, friend. Oh, Candace, Toasty. Thank you, Trevor, for the hugs. My beloved friend, I appreciate it. Yesterday, you asked me for the Metallica song recommendation. I was writing a list, forgot the name of the song, went to check its name from my playlist, came back here, you were gone. 30 minutes earlier than usual. Okay, yeah, I'm actually so sorry, Karam, that it was 30 minutes earlier than usual, because I wanted to get some stuff done as well. I'm gonna get stuff done again, after stream today, but then I think I should be done getting stuff done for a while at least. We didn't even have a podcast this weekend. My friends, the friends I usually podcast with, had a party yesterday, and they're doing Shadowrun today, so it got postponed. We wanted Darcy, one day, that also streams on Friday evenings, to be our guest, because he basically said on stream that he wants to be on the podcast sometime, and I was like, oh wait, let's get it. He hasn't gotten back to me just yet, so I'm still waiting on that. Maybe we'll do the podcast tomorrow. I am sorry, don't worry, I'm not mad. I'm very mad. Oh no. You know what's the funniest part, Karam? Like, because I wanted to go and get stuff done again today, I thought about maybe ending today's stream, in an hour as well, after streaming for an hour, ending it, if you will. But now I'm sweating, dude, sweating bullets. Don't want to disappoint Karam. It's been a while since I saw you smoke. It has been a while. I've been smoking less. So that might be why, Kevo. I'm happy that you're here with me though, dude. Hey, creepy morning. How long has it been, friend? It's so nice to have you here again. I hope you've been well. Do tell us. Anyways, here's the list. Thank you. I mean, you can send the list to our Discord as well if you want the rest of our friends to be able to find it, and if you want me to be able to access it, easily, opposed to coming back to the stream. But I do appreciate the work that you put in, Karam. Thank you so much, man. So I was thinking about streaming, and basically it being me drawing as I ask for picture ideas for my free paintings I hand out. Those just sound like a stream of divine consciousness that just flowed out of you, Candace. I love all of it, 100%. Do you want me to encourage you as well? Yes? Okay. Go, Candace, go! Go, Candace, go! You can do it, friend. I would love to see that. I'm sure our art pen friends would love to see it as well. Steadily shine. It's been forever, friend. It's so nice to have you here again. I hope you're well. Sounds great. It does, right? Let's see. Fade to Black, Until It Sleeps, Don't Tread on Me, all the Unforgiven songs, and Sad But True, and also Mama Said. It's not quite rock, but it's nice. And also, Whenever I May Roam, that's what came to my mind at the moment. Hope you like them. I don't know where the first name starts. I'm sure Fade to Black, one song. Until It Sleeps, one song. Don't Tread on Me, one song. All the Unforgiven, one song. The songs in Sad But True, one song. Oh goodness, I'm please, I would love to actually listen to them. And thank you so much, Karam. Agreed with that. I have so much dream data. It's all dream. It can be a little bit much sometimes, Gavel. It can be a little bit much. I still have memory of this reoccurring dream I had as a child. And it was very odd, because it was this sequence of happening where I found myself in a market where they were selling these spherical objects. Looking back, I think of them as black holes for some reason. But they were very intimidating to look at, and obviously if you get too close to them, they'd black hole you. And my dad was racing. He was racing this supercar. And for some reason, it was racing this supercar on the side of a mountain. So I had the anxiety of imagining him fly off the side of the mountain, but they were also going so fast. They were nearing the speed of light. And, things can't travel at the speed of light. And because they're going to collapse onto themselves and become mini black holes themselves. So I had this weird, and this was when I was and this is basically the way I've rationalized it now, growing up and looking back at this dream. I didn't necessarily have this understanding in the dream, but now looking back, I feel like my dad was going so fast. I was either scared he was going to go overboard, or off the cliff face, or he was going to collapse into a black hole and be sold in this show, or the ones that lose get turned into black holes and then get sold at this show. It was so surreal. And still thinking back at it, thinking about space, thinking about black holes, there is this weird sense of angst. I feel is the feeling. What is my intention for today? Maybe enthusiasm. Entho. Pretty sure this is spelled incorrectly, but our intention for today is enthusiasm. Trevor, hey my friend, thank you for the love and light you're sending. I'm sending them right back. Unfeasible, yes, the world is unfeasible. It's a stack of cards, and the card trick is when it falls all down. Lavender Jones, thank you for joining us, my friend. How are you doing? Blop. You posted the Discord. Oh, thank you for our friend posting the songs, I'm sure. Hello everyone, of morning everyone. Can't watch the stream, walking the dog, but listening today like you are having your podcast. I hope the love and positivity overwhelms all. Thank you so much, Charles. I appreciate you so much, my man. Give your doggy some pets for me if you wouldn't mind. I hope he has an amazing walk, gets to smell all the amazing smells, and I hope that you have an amazing time doing that as well, my friend. Seems the wind is very enthusiastic about the stream today as well. And enthusiastic about me rolling a joint and some remnants of peace. Goodness. How's it, mate? Lekker bro, lekker to you. Thank you for joining us, Style. There are 3 Unforgiven songs. Oh. Are they each called Unforgiven? Like Unforgiven 1, Unforgiven 2, Unforgiven 3? Zenoa, if I could make stars for fun, I'd send lucky shooting stars to those less fortunate so that they could make a wish and it'll come true. Oh, that's a beautiful answer, Zenoa. Thank you so much for joining us here, friend, for answering like that. If I could make stars, I would make shooting stars for those who are less fortunate to see and for wishes to come true. Sounds like Genie with extra steps, but I love it, dude. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that, Zenoa. How are you feeling, friend? How's life been treating you? Yeah, Crystal Love here as well. Enthusiasm is right, my friend. How have you been? How have you been feeling? Rolling a joint expert. It's rolled. Toasty, the wind cannot defeat us. Our joint rolling enthusiasm is unquenched. Interestingly enough, I recently learned the origins of the word enthusiasm. And when I did, it kind of changed my perspective on what I think of as enthusiasm in my own life, and what I think of as, or how I perceive myself in that way. So enthusiasm comes from the word ethno. Enthno. Am I butchering it already? Entho? Maybe it's entho. I think it's entho. It's a Latin or Greek word for godlike. Entho. So to be enthusiastic about something, to be completely enthralled and excited about the possibility of whatever that thing holds, to be genuinely connected and appreciative of the moment, in the moment. To be enthusiastic is to be godlike. At least that's the way the word was made. It can be something that's both intimidating as well, you know, as much as it can be something that's inspiring. And for the longest time, I thought about my enthusiasm for things as something that I needed to hide, especially when it comes to certain people. He was rolling Kiki in the dirt again. Because if you're enthusiastic, or you're so enthusiastic to the point where your enthusiasm creates a contrast between you and the other person, or you and the person that you're maybe interacting with, it doesn't have to be other. You know, it can even be your loved one. If your enthusiasm outweighs to the point where it feels to them like they are in some way other or lesser than you, then there is the separation that happens. I hate it. And I don't hate a lot of things, but I hate that especially. when people compare themselves to others to the point where they feel so other that they feel they can't, continue in a proper discussion, in a understanding of one another. But it's literally a delusional thing from the very get-go, if you will, because we can't be one another. We can learn from one another, we can be inspired by one another to be our best selves, but we can't be another person. We can't expect ourselves to change into another person. We can only change into the being we were always capable of being, through work and stuff. These dogs are crazy. yeah, I'm just tripping out about losing friends because of enthusiasm, and how the act of losing is usually one of disconnection. People feel disconnected because of the enthusiasm you're trying to display, instead of being appreciative of that in the moment and trying to share it with one another. Maybe it's an energy matching thing as well. Sometimes people don't want to be enthusiastic about things, and makes me think again about the addiction we have sometimes to our sad state, or our lower state, if you will. Where are you from, dude? I'm from South Africa, my dude. Thank you for joining us. If I could make stars for fun, I would do it. You've already done it, my friend. I'm asking you if you could do it in this form. Because making stars means you probably have the ability to control matter itself. These freaking dogs. They're just so crazy today. I packed my vape, let's do this. Okay, I'm almost done stacking, Toasty. Almost done stacking. Today's intention, at least for me, is enthusiasm. Let's try and feel into what being enthusiastic means. We have Mr. Merman joining us as well, and Hank Star. A quick hi to you, and a quick bye to you as well, friend. Thank you for joining us. Hey, friends! Hey, Merman! Thank you for joining us, dude. It's so nice to have you. Let's get back. Yeah, let's get toasty. Let's get melted. I'm so happy to be joining you, friends. Are you South African or Dutch? South African. Maine! Mermaid! I'm smoking on boysenberry gelato. Is weed legal there? Very much so, Mr. 333 D Western. Do you know Neil Blomkamp? Yeah, me and Neil Blomkamp are best of friends, dude. I'm smoking PK Crashers. I'm smoking on some orange sherbet. Let's get it, boys. Let's melt. To enthusiasm. And though. Wind is not letting me. Do you listen to Rodriguez? Yep. Before South African children are allowed to learn how to speak, we have to learn how to listen to Rodriguez first, friend. What is your job? I'm at service of people, D Western. Thank you for joining us today, friend. What's your job? If you'd be willing to tell me. I feel there is such a crazy energy just in this space right now, with Kiki and Eva just absolutely manically chasing each other constantly, and the wind also not really helping, and my dad reversing straight at me. Death not today. Man, it actually got cold again, weirdly enough. Woke up this morning with the intention to dance, and then I looked at the temperature and it was like 6 degrees Celsius, and I was like, oh no, actually it's bad. I'm getting goosebumps. The wind is cutting through me again. Lamau, you're cheeky today, eh? I feel a little bit cheeky, Toasty. I've not had a good weekend, man, and I kind of came to stream today thinking that I'm gonna cry a bunch. And I've not wanted to cry. I've wanted to think about enthusiasm instead. Like my dad has been, ooh, so spicy this weekend, dude. Literally came home with like, you know, an instant chip on his shoulder, if you will. Like talking about how they're going into business now and starting to get into the business. There is now these financial barriers, you know, just business 101. And with these financial barriers, they have this asshole investor that wants 20% of profits for like an investment that is basically going to be paid back in like 1 month. And he wants 20% of profits indefinitely for this single investment. And my dad like being like, nah, 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 this dude, nah, 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 nah. And like he basically walked in on me and my mom for the first time in a long time having a proper conversation with one another. And this was Friday night. And like I was basically breaking out in tears, and my mom wanted to talk to me, and we were trying to have a conversation, and my dad comes in, and like I'm entertaining him, listening to the shenanigans, if you will, that he's been going through at work. It's fail. It's ultimate to fail. You're dirty. Kiki. Kiki. You're too dirty. You've been rolling in the dirt again with Eva. And like I instantly stopped talking to my mom about this thing that's bothering me, if you will. You know, the fact that I've been having a hard time eating, and the shit that's going on in the world right now, and how I'm trying to deal, if you will. I'm trying to stay positive, I'm trying to stay lighthearted, trying to stay uplifting, you know, regardless of all of the things going on. And as soon as my dad walks in, I stop, and that almost in itself kind of showed again to myself how I don't feel comfortable enough to be genuine with my dad, you know, in a way like that, to be vulnerable, to communicate about things that I'm feeling, because I just don't feel like there's going to be any understanding from him. And like basically the conversation finishes, we go our separate ways, and we learned that my mom, like Friday night, we learned my mom was going to Pretoria Saturday, and my dad is like, oh, you know, when is this a thing? You know, when did we decide that your mother is going to Pretoria? And I'm like, I don't know. You know, like, I'm not the boss of her or trying to keep tabs on her. Like, yeah, I guess not a bywoner in the house. Say, like he says to me, a bywoner is like, oh, I'm just like a bystander in this household, he says to me, or something like that. And I'm like, well, go and talk to mom, ask her why she's going to Pretoria. My sister had like some sort of workshop that has been, you know, in the planning for months or something like that, and my mom has told my dad. She's just not told him again in the last, you know, while, for if you will. And it really was like this instant, my dad wanted to be angry about this, you know, thing. So Saturday morning, I wake up with my mom and my dad fighting with each other, and like I literally hear screaming, you know, back and forth, like as I'm awakening. I'm like getting out of the sleep, you know, hearing this commotion. And like I hear the door close, and I hear my mom driving off, and one of our like painters, if you will, like the dudes that are painting our rails now. My mom's birthday is coming up soon, and we're going to have a party at our house, so she's fixing up some things. He was using isolation tape, you know, so that he doesn't go over the lines and paint the walls, if you will, because he ran out of masking tape. So directly after this fight, I'm still in my room, you know, I haven't exited yet. Like I hear the screaming about the isolation tape being used, you know, and like, oh, does he have to hide everything? Because if he doesn't do everything himself or hide everything, like everything is just gonna get fucked. And I just hear this commotion again. And then I actually said something. I'm like, Papa, like, you know, like, Dad, what are you doing? Like, why are you going on like this? And he stops. And we basically go through the day. He's gone for most of it. I'm busy for most of it as well. My mom, where the fight started, my mom asked my dad to take care of a bunch of things at home. One of them being clearing a room so that there can be like guests seated there, if you will. So like my mom asked my dad to do this, and my dad just delegated to me like, okay, do this thing. Without complaining, without saying anything about it, I completely finished doing the thing. Then I continued doing the rest of my stuff, getting done what I did, and literally as I'm finished doing the stuff that I was doing, I came and I streamed, I uploaded my video, went through the editing process and everything, and then I had to go back and finish the thing that I was preparing for throughout the day, if you will. So it is 7:30 p.m. and my dad comes to me and he tells me, okay, we're going to go and hang railings. And I'm like, Dad, it's 7:30 p.m. He's like, yeah, and? I'm like, it's 7:30 p.m. He's like, yeah, and? I'm like, it is 7:30 p.m. We're not going to be working at 7:30 p.m. hanging these railings. And he tells me, well, if you're not here to help me, why are you here? And I look at him like, how can you say something like that? If I'm not here to help you, why am I here? And then I told him, would you expect your actual employees to be working at 7:30 p.m., starting work at 7:30 p.m.? He's like, oh, but you're not my employees. I'm like, exactly. We're your actual kids. We're not your employees. Why do you think, or why do you feel you can treat us worse than you would actual employees, people that you pay for their work? But us, who are your children, who you don't plan on paying for the work we're doing for you, you have less respect than you would have your employees. And then like a fight breaks out about me not wanting to work at 7:30 p.m. Like, oh yeah, you go and do whatever it is you want to do, go play games or whatever. That's the vibe I'm getting. So like the night finishes off, I wake up this morning, I start doing the things I'm doing, like preparing for what I have to do after stream again today. And me and my brother wash the dishes, making the entire kitchen presentable for when my mom returns, so she doesn't have to walk into a dirty kitchen. Freaking hell, this story is dragging out so long. I'm sorry. Thank you for being in this trip with me. I just want to get this stuff out. And like my dad went to church this morning, so it's only me and my brother alone. Me and him help each other clean the kitchen completely, 100% clean. As I'm finishing with what I'm doing outside, my dad shows up and he walks like past me, and literally the first thing that he says to me is, why are there cows in our yard? So there were a bunch of cows in our yard a little bit earlier because someone left the gate open. My dad did. And then me and my brother got all of them out, but two of them were somehow behind, like, I think the house, so we didn't see them. So there were still two cattle left in the yard. And my dad is like, oh, why are there cattle in the yard? Like, that's literally the first thing he says to me. I'm like, oh, there are only two cattle in the yard. He's like, yeah, that's what I asked. Why are there cattle in the yard? And I'm like, dude, you just came back from church. You literally came back from church, and this is the very first interaction we have with one another today. My brother comes out, and he's also asking my dad, like, why are you talking to Estienne like this? And he's like, oh, yeah. He does this thing like, yeah, just keep nagging me, And like I just feel so sheerly disconnected from my dad. Like I genuinely have this feeling like he has this, I'm not sure if it's just resentment, because it feels like this combination of being intimidated / being resentful of / being jealous of / being disappointed of. Yeah, that combination of things. If those combination of things can go together. Like we didn't speak to each other once where it didn't either go about him, like it wasn't like literally the totality of the things we talked about was the struggles he was having at work, and then didn't talk to him. Then I got given instructions which I completed, and then when he wanted to give me more instructions and I didn't say I'm gonna do the instructions because it's 7:30 p.m., then I was this horrible son again. And then this morning you know, the communications with, again, me being horrible. So again, this has been such a, like, building and building, like how many interactions do we have to have with one another that is absolute fucking trash. I'm sorry. I shouldn't talk like that. It's just like this bad experience upon bad experience upon bad experience, and then he doesn't understand why we have a bad relationship with one another. And he's so quick to apologize, you know. He's so quick to say, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry," you know. I'm like, "Oh yeah, you know, okay, I'm wrong, I'm sorry." And then come one day, you know, it's like fast forward one day, and he'll do the exact same thing over and over and over and over again. You know, and I'm thinking to myself from this place of, if you're so identified with the Christian belief system, and this is the kind of life you want to lead, you can't continue to do the same thing and ask for forgiveness for the same thing over and over and over again. Like, that is, it's counterproductive. Kiki, it's to fail. You're creating the problem, then apologizing for the problem, and then continuing to create the same problem over and over again. Like, just because you apologize doesn't make the problem go away, especially if you keep going back to that state of existence. If you keep hurting the ones around you. Like, I don't think I've known my parents to not fight with one another in the last, like, 8 years. Like, not a single weekend have I heard them not fight about something. And more often than not, it's this inconsideration of one another. This, do this, and that's like the all of it, you know. And like, I understand why he's like that as well, because he's been a boss in his world. So barking instructions at someone and them complying is what he's used to. But that's not how you run a family. That's not how you talk to your children. That's not how you build rapport. That's not how you build a relationship with your children. And the fact that literally every single one, except for my sister, of our family members fighting with him about this behavior, and him still being unwilling to change it, being unwilling to accept that maybe he's at fault. You know what the craziest part about it for me is he's been so good at it that I've been asking myself, maybe I'm the one at fault. You know, and I've been trying to do so much work and like so much soul searching, and I've been asking for guidance, and been trying to, you know, find some way to get through to him on a way that we can understand one another. But I'm just met with resistance upon resistance. I feel like it's one of the most difficult challenges I've been given in this life. Thank you, friends, for spending so much time with me and allowing me to be able to share these feelings. Like, I know it's not the same for every one of us, but we do go through these things. Know that you're not alone. I know that I'm not alone, and I appreciate you, friend, for being here with me. Thanks for your time, and you can thank me for mine. And after that said, forget it. That's it. Thank you, Gregor. I'm sorry if I offended you, friend, but you know, like, you're the one that offended yourself, technically. All of the things I said from a place of love, a place of jest, you know. It's like a little poke in the ribs. We love you, Mel. Thank you, Infamous One. Thank you so much. I'm happy that you can still appreciate me even if I'm being sassy. Kiki, like, this is what she's bringing me. Kan jy hom vat asseblief? Sy gaan hom vernietig.
Hey. What are you doing?
She's a monster. She's an actual little monster. Haar tou is bo op daai muurtjie ook wissel.
Fucking van je bal weg.
Ja, ek het gehoor. Is dalk goed so.
Nie gehoor nie.
Ja, ek het nie gehoor nie. He's like, the little bell in the bowl got lost. I'm like, yeah, I heard. He's like, you mean you didn't hear? Does your dad have anyone to vent to? No, he doesn't. He doesn't want to vent to someone. And his way of venting is to make himself a victim as well, Toasty. Where he creates this scenario in which you did this thing, and for that reason, I'm, worthy, or what's the right word? Privy, entitled maybe, to this reaction. Like, you did this thing and now that's why I'm doing this thing. If you call him out on this thing he's doing, it's never, I'm sorry for doing this thing. It's like, I'm doing this thing because of this thing. It's never an accepting thing, dude. So, I don't know. Been there, it's okay. Thank you, friend. It's totally natural, man. All families are different, and we all have our own tensions and intentions. There are always others less well off, so just keep things in perspective, dude. Stay positive and enthused. I'm doing that, friend. I'm not being unenthusiastic. I'm not being like negative Nelly. If anything, I'm just trying to bring awareness to the fact that no matter how happy you are, no matter how much you know, no matter how much you think you have it figured out, you'll still deal with these type of problems. Kiki, it's the fail. It's the fail, Kiki. You're too dirty. You're way too dirty. If you were clean and you were to stay clean, just for like an hour, then maybe. But not right now. We're listening. Thank you. We're here, vent away. I love you, friend, so much. Sounds stressful. I'm sorry. It's not your fault, Mast. But thank you. I hope your relationship with your dad gets better, friend. For me, it took a very long time. Yeah. Like, the thing is, if it doesn't work out now, I don't think it is going to. Because I'm very aware of the time I get to spend at home right now. And I'm very aware as well that when I'm away from home, I'm probably not going to be back home Kiki, for a very long time. Maybe forever. So the time I get to have with my parents during my childhood and during this time as well now is the time I'm going to have with my parents. 90% of the time you spend with your parents, you spend with them as you're growing up. The other 10% is every single time you will visit them. If you visit them once every 2 weeks for the rest of your life, you'll only see them 10% more. Think about that. So I want to try at least to make this 90% of the time that I got to spend with my parents, to try and end it off on a positive note, dude. Try and make it something that I can look back on, something that I can feel I actually learned from, instead of something that I just got damaged by or misprogrammed by, if you will. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you so much for allowing me a place to vent. Does your dad resent the way you spend your time? Not so much, actually, Gregor. Because I've spent my time doing so many different things. And I've been working 3 years prior to doing what it is I'm doing right now. And I was out of the house, paying for my own place. Like, my dad hasn't paid. Kiki, Jeez. Like, he didn't have to pay for my apartment or anything like that when I moved out. Kiki, asseblief, Kiki. Ek het net so 'n bietjie spasie nodig. Kiki. She doesn't understand no. I'm just gonna ignore her. I feel bad. I feel bad, and it's making me feel worse that I can't give her what it is she wants. No, Kiki. Kiki, no. Kiki. Like, she's literally up against. I don't know if, you can see her now. She's like literally just pressing the ball up against me. Damn it. I thought it would go into the box. Mel, thank you for being consistent. Thank you, Booty. Thank you, friend. If anything, at least I'm consistent. At times like this, Mel, it helps me to remember who I am, to remember my worth. Words can cut like a knife. You are loved. Thank you so much, Infamous One. I needed to hear that, my friend. Thank you, Toasty. How long can you spend alone with yourself? I think the universe made itself because it didn't want to be alone. I can spend long, like extended periods of times completely by myself. The longest I've been by myself was like 5 months in complete isolation. That was during the lockdowns in China. Yeah, that was kind of hectic as well. The sorries only mean so much after a while. Definitely understand where you're coming from, Mel. Hope you can find peace today. Thank you, FT Revenue. I appreciate you, friends, so much. I'm so sorry you have to deal with this. My husband is like that with my sons. It's awful. Same with the apology and then behaving the same way. What are we, like, Lavender Jones? I'm like, you're melting me just by telling me that you're seeing these things manifest themselves in other families as well. I wonder if it's a dad thing, if it's the inability to accept responsibility or fault in front of your children, or to change your ways in front of your children, if you will. I don't know exactly what it is, but how are we supposed to change it? How can we get through to that? How can we break that pattern? That is really what I want to know. What's going on today? I'm spilling my guts, Martian. Spilling the guts, dude. Getting all of the feels out. Don't keep fucking... Thank you, Raze. It's not a real apology. Oh, honey. But that's why religion was made. Oh yeah, the Australian saying. It don't keep fighting the same kangaroo, JK. So shitty people could live to outdated morals and justify even shittier behaviors. Yep, and then ask for forgiveness and then be completely devoid of any responsibility afterwards. Thank you for the hugs, Crystal Love, and thank you for the silver, Nate. I appreciate you. Thank you, man. Common personality type in their generation. Anyone who challenges is turned into an enemy and someone to lash out at. Eventually, these people end up alone if they don't change. You see, that's the thing I'm most scared of for him, actually, after Revenue, is I don't see my mom staying with him. Not after we're out of the house. I really don't. And that's something that really breaks my heart to think about. Because my dad isn't someone you can have a conversation with. You can talk about things, but you cannot have a conversation. And that says a lot. Don't be someone who just talks about things. Have conversations. Because when it comes to things, he's pretty equipped at talking about them, you know. Be it cars or the industry, especially the mining industry for him. Anything engineering related. You can have great chats talking about these things. But if you try and have a conversation with him, if you try and talk to him, you're not going to get very far, unfortunately. And I don't want to see him ending up alone, FT. But I see it happening, like in a... Goodness, it's so freaking cold. Like I'm actually popping out in goosebumps. Enthusiasm. What a ironic topic for today, or intention for today. Enthusiastic about relationship issues. Enthusiasm and honesty. Vulnerability. I'm very much not a superhero. And I'm so humbled by that every single day. I am but one small drop of knowing. Let it dissolve into the infinite ocean. It's hard to breathe sometimes, is it not? It can be. It's going to pass. Let the air in, my friend. Would love to meet your brother, Mel. I'm happy that you're saying that, Hefty Revenue. I actually thought to invite him today to join me on the stream. But I thought if I'm going to do it, I'm going to have to do it on a number that has significance to me. 241 not as much as 242 would. So maybe tomorrow. I'll ask him actually. This may sound ignorant, but I had a similar situation. My relationship is much better now as I've stopped smoking as much, found a strong career and moved out. Do you get the sense that he wants you to do something similar? So, like, I've had a strong career, I've moved out, my friend. Our relationship didn't get any better for it. Quite the contrary. You know, my time in China, my dad didn't call me once. Kiki, he's fail. He's by a fail. She doesn't care. She's like, yeah, I'm just gonna still push up against you. I just don't want her right here in my space because I breathe her dust fumes. My dad didn't call me once, dude. In a year and 4 months while I was stuck in China. He just doesn't care. And that's okay. Is the conflict your father bringing the rest of your fam closer together maybe? Silver lining. Interestingly enough, Toasty, it is. It is bringing the rest of us closer together. But we're getting closer together in a way that I don't necessarily approve of, Toasty. And that's the weird thing. It's like this mutiny is growing. That's what it feels like, dude. It's like this mutiny. It's like when we're not in the presence of my dad, we have conversations about the things he does and why we don't approve of these things that he does. That is like the conversations we're having and growing closer together in that way. And I don't like that. Even though it could be a silver lining, again, it feels like this separation. Like, oh, we are this and he is that. And I don't want that, dude. I just want to be able to talk to him. I love you, bro. I'm feeling with you. Thank you, Toasty. Thank you so much. How does he react when you do help him with things? He acts of cold indifference. Like yesterday, for example, you know, after I did everything he asked me to do, and he sees that I've done it, like I'll have to, it was like, okay, you know, nothing was said, and then I was like, I did the thing you said, Dad, and he was like, thanks. Fine. You know, and if I ask him about that, he'll be like, I said thanks, didn't I? Yeah. Guess it's only that much we can expect at some point. Can relate, Mel. Sending love. Thank you, friend. Thank you so much, Nate. I appreciate you. Non-duality. I'm trying to hold that as my core, dude. Literally trying to hold that. Trying to become, like, make myself aware of that. Feel the world, the universe, this life has given me a bunch of challenges to overcome so I can get to that point. What's the word? Esafayol? Jy's to fail. Oh, jy's to fail. Jy, J-Y, S-I-S, it's like is, T, it's like to, T-E, fail, V-U-I-L, fail, dirty. You are too dirty. Jy's to fail. Does he seem responsive to help, or does it seem like a no-win situation? It's a no-win situation. And there is also no cooperation and co-creation, you know, happening with him as well. Like, I'll get given these instructions. Kiki, Jy's to fail. Jy's to fail, Kiki. You're too dirty. Like, I don't want to be breathing dust. Like, I want to show you. Like, let me just show you how dusty she is. So, you can see like, my hand is actually full of dirt now, just touching her. Kiki, Kiki, nia, Kiki, nia, She's like getting all riled up now. She's pushing her head underneath the water as I'm trying to wash it. Kiki. The dirt water. I can plant trees in this dirt water. Kiki! Kiki! Alsjeblieft! Geef me dit dikkie spasie. Kiki. I just need a little bit of space. Kiki, please. Please, please, please. Please, please. Rudo! Vessel! I need someone to help me. She's like terrorizing me right now. Kiki, alsjeblieft, Kiki. I just need a little bit of space. Kiki, alsjeblieft. Kiki, please, Kiki. Dankie, Wessel. My brother saved me. Whew. Any hardships early in life? My dad didn't have a dad. Maybe that's it. And I'm aware of that. His dad passed away when he was 6 years old. So maybe, like, the thing is, even though I feel that is enough of a reason for me to dismiss him not being as good of a dad as he could have been, I still feel we're responsible for our own actions. That's true. My dad and I got much closer after I left home. We're very close friends now, but we see each other about once a month. The quality over quantity. You see, Toasty, that's not going to happen when I move out, dude. I saw my dad 3 times before I came back home. So I saw him 3 times in 3 years, basically. And only because my mom wanted to see me as well. Because my dad didn't reach out to me. So, yeah. It's unfortunate, dude. And even when we were seeing each other, even though I was out of the house, same things were happening, dude. Didn't spend as much time with them, but maybe it will be better time spent. I think so as well, maybe, dude. But Toasty, as I said, dude, it's going to be a hard departure, probably. Like an indefinite one. Katie, thank you for being here with us, my friend. I appreciate you joining us. What are your plans for the next few years? Initial Rain, thank you for joining us, friend. I appreciate you being here. I have a bunch of plans, but all of them are kind of finances bound. So I'm going to be realizing the plans as I have the finances to realize them as well. So it's hard for me to completely give you an estimate. Forgive, I'm actively trying to aggravating ad. Look up the song Your Mother and I by London Wainwright and his whole family album history. Thank you, Gregor. Like, the thing is as well, aggravating ad, I do believe forgiveness is the only way that I can move forward from this. You know, forgiveness and love for my dad, regardless of the things we're going through. But at some point, the behavior needs to change, you know. You can't just be expected to forgive over and over and over and over again. Eventually, you have to remove yourself from that thing you have to keep forgiving, or the thing that keeps happening needs to cease happening. And that's the thing that's probably the real crux. Thank you for the helpful Lavender Jones. He's not just a dad, a human first. I agree completely, aggravating ad. Mom's back. Do you feel that your father can have conversations with other people? Yeah, friend, he can talk to other people. I've never seen my dad, I've never heard my dad talk about any of his dreams. He's never had any aspirations to do anything, you know, like, hasn't been passionate about anything, hasn't been like, yeah, this is the thing I want to bring into this world, and I'm so happy about this, or I'm so enthusiastic about this. I've never had that of my dad. He's never been a person, a human first with me, that's the thing. He's always been this elusive figure in my life. Not business-wise, no. Also not friend. Unless he's doing so, you know, in a very personal and one-on-one way, but he doesn't do that, at least in my earshot. Does he have any other addictions beside work, or perhaps his own emotional issues? Nope. Only work. Work. Maybe Kiki doesn't speak Afrikaans. Maybe she only speaks like Mandarin or something. I'll try that next time. Like, she knows in this space I'm trying to be as calm as I possibly can, and she just doesn't vibe with people being calm. She's just like a little crack monkey. So when I'm sitting here, she's like, away, you know, I've had the entire day to pester you with play, but now that you're sitting still, now is the time. And it happens every single day. Thank you for sharing, dude. I'm new to Reddit and just randomly came across your stream. Sorry for presuming your situation before listening further. Hope you're able to find fulfillment through the rest of your life. Some people are just distant. Thank you, Gregor. I appreciate you sharing the space with us, friend. Welcome to Reddit. Is he the main provider for the family? My mom is actually at the moment, initial rain. What did you do in China? I was an English teacher. Yeah, yes, the file, Kiki. Yeah, she's too dirty. The thing is, I'm talking here as well, and I'm breathing constantly from this like space. So, and I'm mildly allergic to dust. You know, if I'm constantly breathing it, I'll get a stuffy nose, and my throat will get kind of clammy, and I will have a hard time speaking. And that's not exactly the desired effect that I'm looking for right now. As an engineer, my dad may care more about things rather than people. My dad as well. Though I don't know you seem to be more in touch with emotions than people, which will always cause some tension. My dad is 100% things oriented. This little bird just came and landed next to me. How cute. That was really cute. Actually made me feel lighter. Yeah, unfortunately my dad is very much oriented around things rather than people. Way much more. And it's always been something that's difficult. You know, and a way to, like, I think almost finish it off, and I have said this before. Like, I grew up with him making me aware of the fact that my meal was more expensive than his if we were to eat at a restaurant. You know, if I ordered something that has like literally 30 cents, it's 30 cents more expensive, he'll make sure that I know about that. You know, and it's been this such a weird thing for me so long in my life. How am I not worthy of 30 cents or a single dollar? Why do you have to let me know that my meal costs a single dollar more than yours? Like, how is that something that's relevant information? But if you value things more than you value people, then it makes perfect sense. And it's a masculine thing as well, and maybe attached with that whole masculine understanding of the world. Him being an engineer also kind of required him to work with things and to make things and to get things done. Interestingly enough, he's also absolutely terrified of a psychedelic experience. Like, terrified. Like, so scared that he has threatened me with an ultimatum if I were to ever, you know, put him under a psychedelic experience that he wasn't asking for, if you will. It's like, you don't do this to me. I'm like, why would I? That was like my initial question, but that's like how scared he is of it. Makes me even more susceptible of like, ooh-wee. I feel like it is something you could benefit greatly off of. Maybe just for his own psyche to realize what he has valued his entire life and how that has shaped the relationships, the experiences he's had, how it shapes everything. Hopefully. Yo, what the fuck? My mom didn't have a dad either, and I have mommy issues. Interesting. I'm starting to see a pattern here, Toasty. I don't know if like n of 2 is enough data. We'll have to continue doing research, man. Marker, thank you for the hugs, my friend. The wind and thunder in the background has me checking out my window. I wonder where the cold is coming from. Like, I'm actively goosebumping. Can you see that? I think you can. Yeah, you can see the goosebumps. It's cold. A working engineer is a huge goal to achieve. A dream for some. You said he's an engineer, right? He is, Initial Rain. And I feel maybe that was the goal he wanted to achieve as well, in some ways. And I feel he stopped growing in a lot of ways as soon as he did. You know, that's the surreal part that I'm feeling. Like, I haven't seen my dad grow throughout my entire life. Maybe that's why I became so obsessed with growth myself. Maybe that's exactly what I had to experience. But I haven't seen my dad grow. I haven't seen my dad stop the behaviors that is not benefiting him. I've not seen my dad, change in the way that his apologies actually mean something. I've not seen my dad actually take into consideration the things we tell him. In the 20, probably just 20, maybe 19, maybe 18 years. Like, the good memories I have of my dad was like when I was 5 years old. But I have not seen him grow. He's always been very much the same. I can't do that to myself either. You know, the craziest part about it is, for me, is how similar I look to him. You know, it's like looking at an old version of myself. And it kills me. Makes it so much harder to feel like I'm actually looking at myself 30 years later. Not learning, not making any progress, actively destroying the relationships that I would want to value the most. You know, the relationship with my children and with my wife. It scares me. It scares me so much that I sometimes think about not having kids or a wife and children. Kids or a wife and children at all. I mean, you can't technically say both, because a wife and children could be one family-esque, and I could have a kid, adopt one and just be me and the kid. So, man, being a human being. I've taken a single puff of this joint the entire stream. Enthusiasm. Maybe I felt it was not quite on topic or something. Enthusiasm. Sorry if this was not the most enthusiastic of streams. I mean, if anything, we're being enthusiastic about our own personal growth and trying to get past these things. Scarmelia, my friend, thank you so much for joining us. I don't know if you're still here. I hope you're doing well, my friend. How have the progress come along, with the whole child support thing, custody thing? Very much know him. Interesting question, though. What if you could shit stars for fun? Would be pretty sick, wouldn't it? I grew up without a father. I don't like to think that's the reason he is the way he is. I don't think so as well, Initial Rain. Like, I really don't want to make that the the thing that I write them off, like I can give them a free pass as a result of that. Because I believe you would be a great father as well, Initial Rain. Listening to the things you say and the things you're aware of and the questions you ask, I can see you have compassion and genuine interest in me as a person. And having a dad or not isn't going to necessarily affect that. Not as much as you can affect that through your own conscious choices, to the stories you tell yourself, and the way that you see yourself in the world. If you see yourself as a part of the world, an integral part of the world, or do you see yourself as this floating dust particle? Something so small and so separate from the rest of the ebbs and flows of the wind. You are as much as the wind as you are the little dust particle, friends. What you smoking, man? I'm smoking on some orange sherbet. Now that I'm actually smoking again. Some hash action. Not exactly actually, but it feels that way almost. My dad had a troubled childhood. This meant I also had a difficult one as a result, and a very strained relationship. It may not work for you, but I began to view it through the eyes of a psychologist, identifying the experiences that shaped him. You see, I would love to be able to do that, friend, but he does not talk to me. And if I ask him questions about stuff like that, he does not answer me. Wat is daai?
Wys.
Yes, kom wys my.
Mens noem dit 'n string of pearls.
A string of pearls.
Want hulle rank. So.
Okay.
Dis hulle like. It's called string of pearls because it looks like a woman's pearls. And then it makes little strings down with little bubbles.
Is it a succulent?
Dis 'n fig plant.
Yes. Okay. Very
Maar
cool.
hulle het ook gesqueeze aan die kant, maar dis okay.
It'll be fine. It'll grow back.
Wil jy sien?
Kiki
Nee,
is
byt
being
nie.
curious as well. Vat ons saam met jou as jy gaan asseblief.
Kom. Ons gemaak nat. Kom gemaak nat.
Go with Shante. That was my sister. Can you say Wagan to all the roadmen out there? Wagwan? Wagwan? I don't know what that means, AK. But Wagwan was said, I guess. And yeah, Gregor, I was going into talking about that. Like, I don't know enough. You know, I know that his dad passed away. I know that his mom remarried. I know that he had younger siblings growing up. Like, he was a 18-year-old and he had like baby brothers and sisters running around because his mom remarried. That's like it. That's like it, literally. Hey Shantai, hoe baie weet jy van pappa se kinderlewe?
Heel wat hoekom?
Doen jy?
Ja, hoekom?
Hoe weet jy heel wat?
Uit ons gesê.
Hoe baie, wat het jy gesê?
Wel, ek vertel aan Erik se kinderlewe, hoekom?
Het hy rarig?
Ja.
Wanneer?
Om tafel ons vraai.
Oh, apparently my dad told the rest of the family. He just didn't tell me. Bum ba dum bum. Bum. Oh well, let's continue. Gob, it's nice to have you here. Yeah, I'm Gob, and sometimes I'm a slob. I've got a job husking corn cobs. Can't tell Rob cause he's in the mob, and he'll make me a dead gob. God. Oh, day 3, day 4, which one of those? Thank you for joining us, man. It's so nice to have you here. We are extremely adverse to the voices our parents fall victim to, huh? Yeah, shit. That's the plural for voice. Vices. The vices. Yes, the buck stops with you. You wouldn't represent yourself as your father does. It's your destiny to pass love to your own family. My dad didn't like me, and it made me be better. Love to you, Estian. Love to you, Elvin. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you saying that. You are better, Elvin. You're absolutely divinely perfect, my friend. I appreciate you so much. Hi, sister. Hi, sister. Sister? Nani? Oh, you're actually saying hi to sister. Let's say hello, sissy. Yo, Meld. Hope you are well, my friend. If you ever start a clothing line, I'm buying in. I want a shirt like yours. Demetar, you flatter me, friend. It is in the plans to start a clothing line eventually. Like, my mom also has a dream of starting a kids' clothing line herself. So I grew up with a mom that talks about these things and are passionate about these things, and a mom that makes her own clothing a lot of the time, makes other people's clothing, makes clothing fit better for other people. You know, my mom is an absolute superhero. She bakes. She's raised 4 kids. She has taught me a lot of emotional maturity as well. I am eternally grateful for the mom I got. And she constantly inspires me. And the clothing brand definitely is one of those. One of these days, I'm just gonna come in and say gibberish. just say gibberish and then like match the gibberish's like last syllables, so it still sounds like a rhyme. I need to go now, but this has been a really insightful stream. I'll keep an eye out for you in the future content. I can't tell, you're an awesome dude, and your openness suggests that you're more of a man than the majority of people I know. Stay positive. Gregor, my friend, that's beautiful, friend. Thank you so much for saying that. Thank you so much for sharing the space with us. We really did appreciate your co-creation. I stream every single day, so I'm sure we'll see each other again. Have a good day. Thank you again, Gregor. Thanks. I think the compassion in us both will help us be fathers. I think so, Initial Rain. Very much so. I'm so intimidated by it as well. Oh, goodness. Because, you know it's the trip? And the problem with an overthinker, like I know we friends can be, is, like, what if I'm too good of a dad? You're like, oh, Mel, stop being full of shit. But I'm like, seriously. So we can all agree that the reason I turned out in the way that I did is partly because of my dad. I'm not going to give him all of the credit because, fuck, I had to do a lot of work myself. A lot of work myself. Most of the work myself. But there definitely is him as an example, kind of pushed me into doing that work for myself. So maybe if I didn't have these glaring obstacles that I wanted to overcome, I wouldn't have learned how to overcome them. So what if I'm too good of a dad and my son doesn't get exposed to obstacles that could help him in the future, or learning how to overcome those obstacles in his present so that he may take them on in his future? So is there a balance in a good to bad dad ratio that I have to try kind of like hit? Like it's out of 2, like a 1 is a bad dad, 2 is a good dad, so I have to hit like a 1.618, like get it like perfectly in the golden ratio so that I can be more good than bad dad, but bad dad enough so that my kid can grow from my bad behavior. This is just me overthinking it as well. Like I'm just trying to patch every facet I can possibly in thinking about this whole having a kid one day thing. Blabberproof nanner flaboot. Shid hooper scooterbloop. Yes, toasty, I love it. That'll teach you, Gob. I meant to add that I have 3 grown sons. Love them to bits, Alvin. Thank you for adding that as well, my friend. I'm happy that you love them to bits. Continue loving them to bits. I think they'll be infinitely grateful for an infinite amount of time. Man, bringing good stuff into this world in the moments like these, and the raising of our kids, I genuinely believe it eternally rings true in the world, in the universe rather. Or, from a 5th dimensional point of view, it is all happening right now. And in choosing to bring more good into the right now than there are people choosing to bring bad into the right now, it shifts the balance towards a better experience for the all. Man, it is the most amazing and yet misunderstood responsibility. God. I was going to say the same thing. You just have a kid that doesn't like your style. Maybe my kid is going to be like super against it as well. Maybe like me being what I think of as a good dad absolutely irks him, and he grows up to be his version of himself because he didn't want to be like me. And maybe that's what it's all about. Maybe that's how we keep growing. it has to kind of flip back and forth, maybe. The world is going to knock your kids down one day. Just focus on being the best dad, so they can come to you when the world crashes around them. Man, thank you so much for saying that, Crystal. That's beautiful, friend. Oh, you see, man, that makes me so happy. Because, like, I think of myself as very flawed. And I think now, especially since I feel you've enlightened me almost, Crystal, like my thinking of, can I be too good of a dad, is so flawed now in perspective with what you just said. Because instead of worrying about that as a reality, the world being bad in the way that it can be, other people being bad in the way that they could be, can be the bad experience that they can learn from and that they can be adverse to. And then if it becomes too much for them to handle, they can come back to you. Because they can know that you've been consistent with the love that you give. Man, thank you so much, Crystal. That's gorgeous. I truly feel fathers like the ones we'll be are the kind of fathers we need right now. Very much so. Very, very much so. It's like a dual cutting sword though, Initial Rain. Like I feel it's gonna be a long time before I have kids though. Like at minimum, probably like another 10 years or something. Crystal, this very much so. Yes, quite exquisite. Blabbersnoof, Wizzy Enderdoof to use. Perfect. Very much so. Mel, Casper the Ghost. How long has it been, friend? Months? Years? Decades? Centuries? Eons? I don't know any more time words. Damn it. I would have liked to go on for longer. Thank you for joining us again, Casper. How have you been, friend? Oh man, it's getting cold. I feel that parenting methods only result in a complete rebellion of said method when the method is being indoctrinated into the child rather than provided as an opinion of many. Very good point. If anything, I believe we're going to give the divinity back to our kids. Toasty. Right. We're going to respect them as divine individuals, not as things to be controlled. And I think that's going to be maybe the most important aspect of the change that we're going to try and bring into this world. Perhaps that's the difference. Feeling like they are the ones you can come to. Go get your blankies, Mel. I think I'm going to maybe end the stream here, Infamous One. My friends, very long. I don't usually get a chance to catch the stream, different time zones and whatnot. It's okay, Casper the Ghost. We do stream at the same time, so... Me being like, what you mean, Casper? You can make some time. I make some time for you. I'm joking, friend. I appreciate the time that you have made for us right now. And that's all that's important. Friends, I appreciate you. Hugs to you as well, Toasty. I appreciate you, friends, so much. Thank you for always being here in the space with me. I look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.